morning. Good morning. How you guys doing? Good. So I just finished, I was at Camp Pendleton, which is a Marine base, like about an hour south of here. The last 2 weeks of training camp, wrestling with everyone on our world and national team, preparing for the World Championships. So I'm 7 weeks out from the World Championships, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited to be here with you guys today. We're going to do something a little bit new, a little bit different. So you guys are here in person. We also have a live stream going, so people that aren't here will be able to tune in and be able to basically ask questions along with it. So today when we're teaching, I'm teaching you guys, but I'll also be kind of teaching to the live audience as well. So I'm going to tune in to a few of these guys. If they have questions, they can go to live stream. They can ask questions on my social media feeds. I'll answer those as well. You guys, same thing. Obviously, as we're going, any questions that you have, I'll answer those things. But so really just the more that I've been wrestling for a long time, and as I continue to get to the next level in my wrestling career, I realize that what makes wrestling really special is whether I'm preparing for my first world championship, right? It's something that I've dreamed about, being a world champion since I wrote my roles down when I was 8 years old, right? So it's been a long time. I've been on the national team in 2013. So I was actually joking this week, like, national team camp, we're there for 2 weeks, away from our family, away from our friends, away from our general home environment, right? Which we're all more comfortable when we're in our own environment. And I've been going to national team camp since 2013. So for 6 years, I've been going there as a training partner. You know, and going there is just like, man, I really feel like, and not all those years that looking back, that I realized, man, could I have been a world champion during those years? Probably not, right? I don't know if I really believed it. Really deep down, did I really believe that I could be the best in the world? I said it, but I don't know if I really ever believed it until 2 years ago. Last year was the first year that I really believed deep down. I stepped on the mat, I believed I was the best in the world and I could win a world championship. So, but all those last 6 years of going in there, it helped me realize, wow, these guys are winning world medals, Olympic medals. Why are they doing that? And what do I need to do something different? So, what I've been able to realize is that time spent, as we continue to have success doing things, the harder it is to make change, right? So let's say you have a great single leg, and you've been doing a single leg, and you've been, man, it's a great single leg, but you realize at some point, my single leg's not working anymore, right? So you have two choices. You can keep working, keep doing it, doing the exact same thing you're doing, or you can make an adjustment. But the more that you've had success doing that, the harder it is to make an adjustment. I've been one of the best or the best in the weight class pretty much my entire life. But I got to a point where not only was I wasn't necessarily the best in my weight class, but if I wasn't the best in my weight class, I didn't have the opportunity to even have the opportunity to see if I could be the best in the world. But what makes wrestling really cool is I'm there, right? But we're in the same spot. You guys are all trying to achieve, maybe it's to repeat and be a state champion again. Maybe it's to make the state tournament, right? Maybe it's to choke out TJ Dillashaw. I don't know if any of you guys are going to do that, but you might want to try and dream about it. But or maybe it's to try and, but whatever it is, we're all working toward the same thing. It doesn't matter what level of wrestling you are. The technique that I use in my wrestling is stuff I'm going to show you guys today, right? And now you guys can use that opportunity and you can say, well, you know what? Take one thing from it. That's all that really matters. When you go to a clinic, just focus on taking one thing. If you can take one thing back and implement it into your wrestling, it's a complete success, right? You're not going to completely change the way you do, because I do things different than you, and you. We're all going to do things differently. But I'm hopefully going to be able to show you something that's a little bit different than what you've done before, or maybe something that someone's told you 1,000 times, but maybe I say it a little bit different, and that makes a difference for you, because it does for me. Right? I can see a technique from somebody, and all of a sudden, someone else shows it a little bit different, says something a little bit different, and then it just makes sense to me. Oh, wow, I should definitely be doing that. So really, I think when you go out and wrestle, right, you kind of have two philosophies. You can go out, right, and I say let it rip. Right? So I go out and I'm trying to let it rip. I'm trying to score as many points as I possibly can. In doing so, right, in wrestling that mentality, you're going to give up points. If I'm going out and I'm trying to score as many points as I can, you're going to get scored on. And you got to be okay with that. Because you got to believe deep down, if I get scored on, who cares? I can score more points than my opponent. Because I wrestle that way in practice every day. Because I wrestle that way in competition. You have that same identity in competition that you do in practice. That's super important. Right? Or you have that mentality where, I don't want to give up any points. But what happens if you have that mentality, I don't want to give up any points, but what happens when you get scored on? Probably get a little anxiety. Right? So you have to have something probably in the middle. right? If it's in the middle. If you're somebody that doesn't want to get scored on, and you get scored on, that's going to frustrate you, well, you should get scored on more in practice. And understand, okay, who cares? If I get scored on, if I get taken down, well, I'm going to work on my bottom wrestling. I'm going to get to my feet, I'm going to get my takedown, I'm going to get on top, and now I'm going to start working on top. If I'm not scoring on top, I'm going to cut my partner, I'm going to get back to my feet, I'm going to get another takedown. So you got to always constantly try ways to challenge yourself. Just trying to win, you're never going to get to that goal. If I just try to go to practice every day and I just try to just win practice, I will never be a world champion. I'll never be a world champion. Never have the opportunity to be a world champion. So I wouldn't be getting any better. Right? So, same thing with you guys. If you're going to practice to try and win, to try and beat your opponent by 1 point and be happy with that, I want, you know what, mom, dad, aunt, uncle, brother, sister, today was great. I won practice, didn't get scored on today. Well, then you got really deep down, like, well, what did I do different? What did I do to make myself better? Well, yeah, sure, you got confidence that you're going to win, but you're not going to go out and wrestle everybody. You're not going to win every single match. That's not really feasible. At some point, you're on somebody that's as good as you or better, right? That's going to happen. So you're going to challenge yourself, maybe bigger than you, maybe older than you, but you can always challenge yourself and find somebody that's going to do that. But you got to be comfortable. So what I was saying is basically, I'm going to give you kind of 3 philosophies today, right? One, we're going to go out and we're going to give you guys confidence where you're going to try and score as many points as you possibly can, right? And we're going to have one, we're going to be, okay, we're going to make sure this guy can't touch our legs. But then you got to try to, and then it's up to you guys to figure out where you are in the middle of the spectrum. For me, I'm always going to be a guy that I'm going to go out, I'm going to try and score as many points as I can, right? A lot of people say, why am I having success on the international level right now? It's because I'm willing to make myself feel uncomfortable every time I step on the mat, and I'm willing to wrestle as hard as I possibly can for 6 minutes or however long it takes in that match. And if I get scored on, I like that. If I'm down 2-0 or 4-0, now that guy has got anxiety that I'm coming after him hard to try and make up the difference there. And every point I score is like, man, we scored. Oh man, we scored, right? And then I'm going to keep wrestling the whole time, right? I'm never going to, I don't think I'll ever be somebody that's going to stay on this side and be like, well, you know what? I hope I don't get scored on. Because if I get scored on, it's not good, because that's not the way I compete in practice. I get scored on all the time. So that doesn't really faze me. But if you're someone that's willing to go out and wrestle as hard as you possibly can and get scored on and not really care, you can always dial that back, right? If I go out and I shoot 50 times, I can always say, you know what, this match, I'm not going to shoot 50 times. I'm going to shoot 20 times. I'm going to try and make that 20 really good attacks. Versus somebody that takes 2 attacks, that person, you're going to have a really hard time if you're someone that takes 2 attacks, and all of a sudden, you know what, this attack's really hard, I have to take 10. Because you've never pushed yourself in practice. You know, body doesn't understand what it feels like to take 10 shots, to take 10 risks, to get scored on. And do you understand what I'm saying with the 2 different sides? Right? So that's a choice that you have to make. And I made that choice. When I decided, 2 years ago, I really decided, and I believed in my mind, and in my heart, and my stomach that I could be a world champion, I decided, you know what, I'm never going to be the guy, I don't ever want to be tired. So I'm always going to put myself in a situation where I can always dial back the amount of shots I take. Right? I can always dial that back if I want to. But never the opposite side where, you know what, I'm so nervous about getting scored on or what the guy's going to do, which is how I was for the first 4 years of my international career, that I was unwilling to make those mistakes. Because I thought if I made a mistake, I wouldn't be able to overcome that. But I made the decision in my mind that I can overcome that because of the way I push myself in practice, right? So that's just my general wrestling philosophy. And that may sound like a lot, but that's, I think, if anything I do today, that 100% is the most valuable thing that I can give you. Because that's just decisions you have to make. When you go to practice, you can decide, when you go to competition, you can decide who you want to be in that spectrum. And that's what makes wrestling really special. And the more that you are, where you're willing to just wrestle really hard, you get scored on, I'm going to just figure out a way to get off the bottom and keep scoring. The more that you wrestle like that in practice and competition, I believe the faster you get to your goals. Like I said, it's easy to dial that back. But the more that you're just trying to win, and you're worried about the winning and the losing, and the anxiety of matches that come, or the practices, or if that is important to you, it's going to be a hard time to get to your goals faster, because there's going to be someone eventually, you know, it's going to be difficult to change that in a short period of time. So, you know, as we're going through today and we're doing these things, you want to say, okay, let's challenge yourself, how many shots we can do in a minute. It's not, okay, I'm going to go crazy, right? But it's good attacks, good solid positions, but really challenge yourself. If I'm in a match, can I go do this for a match to sustain that, right? When I wrestle, I start the match at about 80%, right? And I keep that for about the whole time. I can go to 100, but as soon as I sprint and go to 100%, I can come right back to 80%, and I can keep wrestling 80% the whole time, right? I don't go hundreds, 10%, hang out, go back up to 100. I'm not sprinting. I'm trying to keep that pace the whole time, but because I wrestle that way, right? because I work with Coach Kyle in TheTreigningLab, right? So the reasons that I can do that is because I put a lot of time and effort, and that's a big priority for me. So let's make that choice today, right? Let's make that choice today. We're going to really focus on being on this side of the spectrum. We're going to really focus on trying to score as many points as we can. We're going to push ourselves. So my goal for you is we're going to run a practice similar to how I would back home at the training center, right? And when I run a practice, I will never ever make somebody do something that I'm not willing to do myself. Right? I'm never going to tell you to do things in practice just because they're hard, right? Or something to that effect. I'm only going to do things that I think are important that I would do if I was running a practice or if I was in a practice. Just so on the same thing. So we're going to go through about 45-50 minutes of just technical areas. We'll be implementing a lot of what I call play wrestling. So that's not just like I drill, fall over, they drill, fall over, where I want somebody come. Right? So when we're doing these things, right? So every time that we're drilling a takedown today, partner, I want you to always focus on landing like a cat. So never will he land on his back, right? So if he takes me down, right? So he does a shot, takes me down. I'm going to wrestle the position. When I say like a cat, it means hands, knees, and I'm ready to wrestle to the next position, right? I'm ready to get my feet, cut and turn, right? Maybe he takes me down, right? Takes me down, right? Maybe I'm knee sliding, whatever it may be. But I'm going to try and focus on wrestling through every single position. So never takes a shot on me, right? I don't see this enough today. And I just fall over, lay down, right? But I don't want to ever just lay on my back. So always lay like a cat. Number one priority today. So no one will get taken down on your back. That right there is going to give you a much better habit, right? Because now, naturally, if I do that every time I take a shot on me, and every time I'm wrestling in this position and I'm laying like a cat, I'm in a position to keep wrestling. Right back in my position, right? So if we can make that change today, that'll only put you close to that spectrum. Who cares if you get taken down? So always land like a cat. Number one thing. And one thing that we're going to really focus on today as well, inside position. So guy ties up with me, really simple. I always want to be inside. So anytime that I feel myself outside, so we're clear, this is outside. So this side's here. Inside position means I'm inside both of his arms. It's pretty simple, right? So here, this is lazy. Right? I think as a wrestling community, we have a really bad habit of overtime. This is not an offensive position. This is a defensive position for sure. I can't score from here. I'm going to do something to score. So let's put ourselves in a scoring position. Okay? Right? One of the first things we'll do is they tie up with us. Inside position right away. Right? So today, anytime that you feel yourself being on the outside, right? Anytime you feel yourself on the outside, just make the adjustments inside. Right, so inside position, land like a cat, or to make us better wrestlers. Right, so let's focus on those two things today. No matter what we're doing, force yourself to remember inside position, land like a cat. Any questions there? All right, so first thing we're going to do, we're going to focus on our penetration drill. So, partner's going to tie with us. Right, first thing, what do you think we're going to do? What do you think? Inside position, right? First thing, partner's going to tie with us. We're going to get inside position. We're going to step, knee over toe. Partner, going to throw your leg back. Throw your leg back. Now I have to penetrate, right? So to step, my knee goes over my toe, get my chest to my partner's thigh. Then I'm up in good position, and I'm up moving my partner, right? Move my partner. But I don't want to see this, right? Partner ties up. Lazy, we're open inside, so make sure you're inside. Now when I shoot, the partner's leg goes back and my chest into the thigh, that means I'm probably not penetrating very well. So focus on making sure your chest goes to the thigh. Right? So partner's leg goes back, step, chest to my thigh, up to my feet. If I shoot, my chest gets to my partner's thigh, I'm in a better position already. Right? So tie up, inside position, step, knee over toe, chest to the thigh. Then we're going to go both sides. Right? We're going to switch. This is where the challenge comes in. Right? Change your feet, change your head. Partner's leg goes back, step, knee over toe, get my chest to the partner's thigh, up to my feet. Even if the penetration step isn't the best, you can overcome by just making sure my chest is to the thigh, right? Maybe my penetration is awesome, but if I can get my chest to my partner's thigh, look at my position. Pretty good, right? If my chest is to the thigh, not very good. So readjust your chest to the thigh. Get up to your feet. Move your partner around. Any questions there? Partner ties up, inside position, knee over toe, chest and partner's thigh. Up to your feet. So we'll go 5 each side. Switch your head, Now 5 the other side. Knee over toe, chest to thigh. That's my feet. 5 each person, each side, and then switch. We got it? Let's go. 1, 2. Got it, partner?
Huge.
Right, so as you saw, right, so warming up for practice, right? We're here for wrestling practice, we're not here for running practice or forward roll practice. So when I want to run warm up, I don't want to run a warm up where we're running around in circles doing forward rolls and cartwheels. I don't do that when I wrestle. When I wrestle, I shoot shots, right? So again, when I'm out of practice, I don't want to warm up doing that stuff. I want to warm up wrestling, right? So I think that warm up is going to get us more warm than anything else that we can do. But it's also practicing good habits. Right? We're working on penetration step, right? We might not feel great when we start practice, but that's what practice is for, right? We're gonna work our way into getting ready to go. So penetration drill, really important, right? So if you were to say, why don't I want to shoot, right? What would be, if I said, okay, what's your reasoning for not taking 10 shots in a match? Scoring, who cares, right? Who cares if they score on me? But if I'm taking good attacks, less likely someone's going to score on me. So huge difference, right? So when I shoot, I see, and I do this, right? Sometimes I get excited and I just want to shoot, right? My head's down, I just want to try and get to the leg. But if I can focus on every one of my attacks to my chest and my partner's thigh, if you can shoot and put yourself in a good position, it takes a lot of that anxiety and fear of shooting away. That's the point of that drill, right? So I'm not saying, hey, let's do a penetration drill just because it looks fun, right? There's a purpose to every single thing that I do when I wrestle, and every single thing that I'm going to tell you guys to do when we're taking in this clinic. There's a purpose to every single one of that, right? And to me, it's confidence. The more confident that I am that I can shoot near my chest, my partner's thigh, the more confident I'm going to shoot. Because I'm in a good position, right? So, but not every shot we're going to be in a great position, right? There's going to be shots where, you know what, our penetration, what shot was crappy, right? And we're going to be like this. Well, so what's the next thing? I got to be willing to just continue wrestling, right? So I'm going to knee slide. I focus on getting my hips to my partner's leg, right? And the same thing, if I'm doing that, what's my chest going to? Thigh, right? So next drill, we're gonna start right here, right? Which is a common position, right? I didn't penetrate, I reached to the leg. So what I think about doing is I think about always, any time that I have one hand on the leg, I always think two hands, first thing. Because I can overcome a lot if I have two hands on the leg. His partner's strong, right? If I'm here and I think I'm gonna take one hand, I'm gonna pull his leg in, unlikely. Two hands, I feel really comfortable. So we're right here, next drill. We're gonna have our head right in the guy's ribs, partner's leg's gonna be back, I have one hand on the leg. So I'm gonna knee slide in, get my chest to the partner's thigh, two hands to the leg. So all at one time. Chest comes in, chest to the thigh, two hands to the leg. Now I'm in a much better position. Right, so this is what I call a recovery drill. This is really common in a match, right? How many times, everyone raise your hand, do you shoot and get like this? And the partner sprawls out on us, and we're like this, right? Well, that's probably going to lead to that fear of shooting. Who cares, right? Who cares if I'm here? Recover. Get your chest to the thigh, two hands to the leg. Pull your hips in, get your chest to the thigh. Two hands to the leg, pull yourself in, good position. Right? Partner leg goes back, not in good position again, okay? Chest to the thigh, knee slide, two hands to the leg. And when I do that, I think I'm taking my head, stick it in the armpit. Right? So from here, as I pull my hips in, think about your head goes in the armpit, and I look to the far shoulder. Pay attention? Alright, good. Right? Hips, two hands to the leg, chest to the thigh, head in his armpit, look to his far shoulder. My position here is really good. Way better than this. Right? Now, the challenge comes where the fight happens is when they're really strong, they're sprawling. Right? So here the guy's really sprawling on me. Pull myself in. If you watch a lot of my matches, a lot of my wrestling happens from here. And I pull myself in. Hips are in, two hands to the leg, heads up, looking to the far shoulder, now I can finish. Do it to both sides. Same thing. Head's in a good position, partner sprawling back, knee slide in, two hands to the leg, head in the armpit. Look at the far shoulder. Partner, I just want you to constantly give me pressure. I just want you to constantly try and pull your leg back. Take it back. Take it back. Any questions there? So my head's up, my chest to the thigh. If I can just get my chest to my partner's thigh, my head's down, probably still not great. But my chest relates to the thigh. To have my chest to the thigh, my head has to come up. Has to come up. And then I just make the choice. Lift this far shoulder. Any questions on the recovery drill? We got it? All right, one person's gonna go to one leg, just like that. So right here, partner's gonna throw a leg back, knee slide, 2 hands in the leg, 10 down pin. Partner throws the leg back. Partner throws the leg back. We're just gonna keep going. Say stop, we'll change, and go to the other leg. Got it? Let's go, 1, 2. Peter. On your own. Arms on the leg back. Chest to the thigh. Hands to the leg. Hey. Get back a little bit more. Kick back. Start with yourself in that position. You don't want that to happen. We want to recover. We don't want confidence to be able to recover, but don't put yourself. So start. I like to start when I'm wrestling in the worst position I possibly can be in, and figure out how to score from there. The worst. If I'm here, my pinky's on the leg, right? Look back. I'm really far away. I gotta be able to finish from here. Come on, extend your head up. So start in that position. Don't shoot yourself in that position. That makes sense?